Tonight, Waynesboro City Council may introduce an ordinance for a traffic light preemption device program. The devices allow fire trucks and ambulances to change traffic lights to green so they can go through intersections. The 5-year program would cost $246,000. The first year would cost $56,000, with grants paying for all but $10,000. The devices aid traffic safety during emergency response and provide potential benefits in response time. And joining us now to discuss the proposal is Gary Kreitzer, the Waynesboro's Director of Emergency Management. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. It's my pleasure.
Now, what are the safety benefits, Gary?
Well, one of the most risky parts of an emergency response is at an intersection. That's where statistically most accidents occur. So by doing everything we can to enhance the safety of the intersection as emergency apparatus approaches is a plus. It certainly doesn't give the emergency vehicle the right, just because they have a green light, to charge through the intersection, but it certainly helps to move the traffic flow through. It gives them the green light and others the red, and allows it to enhance that safety and that response.
Now, the council information says potential benefits to response time. Is it just a potential?
Well, in some studies, it suggested that it saved as much as 30 to 40 seconds per intersection. That depends on the amount of traffic flow, the type of intersection it is during that particular time. It certainly can help with that. We believe that. But it doesn't, again, give just because the light's green, it doesn't give the emergency apparatus the right to simply charge through the intersection. They still have to slow, command control of the intersection, make sure that all the other vehicles see them and are aware of their presence, and that they can proceed through safely.
But there have been studies that it does help response time.
It has showed an improvement in response times, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why is Rosser Avenue corridor being the first to be chosen?
Chief Scott and I worked very closely on developing the list of corridors to be done first. Part of that is because several of the lights on Rosser Avenue already have preemption on them that were installed by VDOT. Some out near the town center and the intersection of Rosser and Northgate are newer lights, and they already have preemption. The other is the development on the west end. The traffic flow in that area is much heavier. And finally, that's a route that our ambulances use frequently as they transport patients to Augusta Health in Fishersville via I-64.
Have you heard of any word that possibly consumers can buy these devices on the Internet? It's been rumored, and any problems with that?
I'm not aware of any particular problems in our area. Like any other thing, whether it's a radar detector or things like that, there's always those tools out there that people want to try to take advantage of the system. However, the detector or the emitters that actually trigger the system are relatively expensive, in the neighborhood of about $1,500 a piece. So hopefully that would deter folks from going out and buying them, as well as any type of flashing device like that on a vehicle that's not authorized to use it would be a violation of the Virginia Motor Vehicle Code and would be able to be enforced by law enforcement.
Is that something easy to see, that a vehicle is flashing?
Very much so. Yeah, it looks like a strobe light. It's pretty obvious.
Okay. Now, with the recession that we're experiencing, isn't this timing a bit difficult?
Well, that's a decision that that's why we were lucky to find some grant money, as well as using some of the state fire board money to be able to do this. That's a decision that our local elected officials is going to have to weigh by looking at our revenues and the current economic state of the city as to whether the timing is absolutely correct.
All right, very good. Gary Kreitzer, Waynesboro's Director of Emergency Management, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Now, tonight's City Council meeting begins at 7 at the Yancey Municipal Building in downtown